Hello, this is a very quick look at sessions because I've got an amazing deal on and I've put a link below. And this has completely replaced Zoom for me. I do a lot of online calls and this is brilliant. First point, I can't really demo this, but you don't need to install anything. It's all web-based. So you just send someone a link and they can join a session. You can have a single session, you can schedule a session, and you can create webinars or workshops. And they can be recorded, and there's lots of other goodies in there as well, which I'll get onto in a moment. It integrates with your calendar, so you can see where you've got things in my Google Calendar, and then I've got various sessions already booked in. And once you've done a session, you can go and review it, and you've got all the, let's just go into this one, for example. You've got all the details in terms of the analytics, how many participants, if there are any messages, and you can review the recording if you've chosen to actually video the session. Now, when you're in a session, you'll see down the bottom here the number of participants. There's a little chat window. You can run polls, you can run questions, and then you can mark answers. If you take notes during the session, they will be automatically emailed to you, and participants can do that as well. And you can also synchronize it if you use Evernote or Notion. Takeaways is a really interesting one. They've introduced AI. So the first part of this is that you can create transcription of the entire call. And then if you press this summarize button, you can generate overviews, action items, let's say action items. It will now read that transcription and create the actions that it picks out from it. And that can be a super useful way of summarizing what's going on with the meeting. And then you can circulate that with participants. So the takeaways section contains the summary, and again, you can add to it if you want. Another great use of AI is the ability to create agendas. So you can set up an agenda ahead of time if you know what you want to talk about. But if you're a little bit unsure, you can use the AI Copilot again. And once you've given it the topic, it will go away, use AI to write an agenda for you. And this is a great way of overcoming any sort of mental blocks you've got over what you want to speak about. So you'll see it creating the agenda, and it'll come up with quite a lot of different topics. You simply say use agenda, and there you go. That's all set up now. You can adjust the timings down the side. And so what it looks like when you're in the meeting is you can see we've got a timer here to give you 5 minutes to talk about your introduction, and then you can move on, and this will pop up. And so your visitors, your viewers will see what part of the meeting you're on, and you can make sure you cover everything. And then you've got the standard controls at the bottom around video, microphones, sharing your screen, emojis, start recording. One thing to note though, this integrates with various tools. So rather than sharing a screen and then going to another tool, we can go up here and we can say, let's start a whiteboard session. And we now have a whiteboard that you and other participants can interact with. So while you're talking about maybe a process going from A to B, you can add text, and this is saved as well, and you can review this later on in the memory. If you've integrated it with your Google Docs, you can easily share presentations directly. You don't need to share your screen. This is directly being controlled by sessions, which makes it a much better experience overall. Once you've completed the session, you'll see today is here, and as I say, you can go and review the memory of all your sessions. You've also got a Book Me, so you can ditch external calendar software. This can do that for you. You can host events, so large webinars, and you can attend events that they do. They're very supportive. And you can also set up rooms. And that can be a persistent room where your team can just dive in and brainstorm or have a quick meeting without having to set anything up. It's just a persistent online room. We've got a range of tools that you can integrate with, and that just pulls it directly in. And if you're a software company, you can integrate your own software, and that will allow your potential client to interact on screen. They can actually use your software via the session. So if you currently pay for Zoom and you're doing client coaching work, I highly recommend checking Sessions out. And right now it's available for a one-time purchase. This has been a long time coming. They're doing this to help raise awareness of the tool. I've bagged this on a previous lifetime deal and I do not regret it. I would recommend going for at least tier 2 because then you get access to the AI Copilot, which can be very useful. But if you're a heavy Zoom user, you might want to go for tier 3 or above, and you'll find that actually will pay for itself over time because you won't need to pay for Zoom. So I'll put the link below. If you've got any questions about this product, let me know.